Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Let me make sure everything's working. Let's see. Alrighty, can you guys see me? Just getting started with the live stream. So glad to have you guys here today. I'm very excited for this one. Get all my stuff situated on the screen. Hi. Hey everybody. Cool. Yay. So I'm super excited, and we're gonna let some people kind of roll in a little bit. So I see you guys have already been chatting. And yeah, I have like 3 screens here. I just posted it on Instagram, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to look, and the camera's here. All right, you guys. So I can see all of your comments. So throughout this little presentation, I can answer questions, and we can really just talk about like holidays, getting our stuff noticed on Etsy, and just overall like SEO and listings and all that good stuff with Etsy. So I'm super glad to have you guys here. So someone said, Carrie, you recently launched your shop on Etsy. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Thank you for following the channel. Yay! Can't wait to soak up the tips and improve shop sales. Meeting a celebrity. Oh my goodness. Y'all are funny. Yes, congrats to Carrie. Awesome. And I see some of my students in here. I saw you in here, Malaysia. Nice to see you in here. All right, cool. So I'm going to start with the presentation, and this will always be available for replay. So if you want to go back and watch this again, you'll be able to like click in your little email or wherever you got the link. You'll be able to click there and review this again and take notes and all that good stuff. So let me go ahead and kind of start the presentation. And yeah, so before we begin, I am going to drop this link here in the comment section of before we begin, so you guys can kind of sign up. So let me grab this link, and oops. Let me figure out how to grab the link. So I'm gonna put this in the comment section so that you guys can sign up and get the like Etsy materials and all that stuff. So I'm gonna have to exit the presentation and then get you guys the link. So let me do that. Bloop. And okay, until I can get this link. All right, so I'm just going to copy and paste this. I think this is how it goes. So what this is going to do is it's just going to tell Etsy that you attended the presentation, and they'll send you some stuff in your email, like material notes, I guess. Oh yeah, this is how I do it. Cool. All right, so copy the link. Y'all, I'm already struggling and I just started, okay? All right, copy. Cool, let's do it. All right, yay, I did it. Okay, so now I'm gonna post this into the comments, and then you guys can sign up, like just open a new tab and then check in, or I'm gonna post this check-in again at the end so that you can check in at the end if you want to do that instead. So I'm going to go back to the presentation mode and then open my notes. Let's see. Super here for this. Yay! You guys, every time I get on live, even with my students, it's always something, and there's like too many like screens and everything, but it's okay. We got it going. All right, so I'm going to go back full screen and let us start while you guys kind of check in and all that stuff. Cool. All right, so I'm going to introduce myself if anyone is new or is not familiar with me or the YouTube channel, which I think most of you are. Oh, does the link just take you to Etsy? It should take you to like some document, like a check-in document. Let me paste it into mine and see. Let me paste. Yeah, it takes you to a Google Docs check-in, and I'll kind of put it here so you can see what it looks like. So it should look like this when you check in. It'll just be like this little thing. Cool. Alrighty. Okay. So maybe you guys, if you don't see it, maybe you can do it on your computer later on or something like that after the live. All right, so while you guys are kind of checking in, I'll do a little intro here. So my name's Tiana Coates, and I'm the owner of Winding Wick Candles, and I also teach others how to start their candle businesses and everything like that. And you guys probably know me from my YouTube channel, but I also I started this whole thing by just kind of selling candles on Etsy. It was my very first platform I ever signed up with, and to this day I really love Etsy, and I'm so glad that people over at Etsy let me do this for you guys and teach you a little bit about the platform and all that good stuff. So now that I kind of got my intro out of the way, let's hop into what we're going to be doing. So we are going to start with prepping our shop for the Christmas season, and let me tell you, a lot of these tips you can even take into outside of the Christmas season and holiday season, and just have them, the camera's good, okay, and just have them in general and always apply them to different times of the year. So this is very versatile information, so it's just not for the holidays. And then they'll also talk about some seasonal marketing strategies, and then customer service, Christmas trends. And some of this stuff is not, I know a lot of you here are for candles, but some of this stuff is not for candles. But I think there are beginning to be more people that kind of watch my channel that aren't just candle makers. They do other stuff too. So maybe that some of that information will be applicable to them. So I just left it in because I'm sure someone might find it useful. Alrighty. And let's see. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing. So like I said, these tips can help you with the holiday season and beyond. All right. So we're going to really be going over how to prep your shop for the Christmas season. And I know it's November, so you might already be prepping for the Christmas season. So a lot of these tips you could probably just add on to whatever you're doing. Or if you haven't started your shop, or if you're still creating listings, you can use this information to help you with that. Oh, see, someone here says they make jewelry. So I definitely have some stuff in here that's going to be trends for jewelry and all that good stuff. All right, so we will be going over inventory, keywords, videos, which is new to Etsy, videos and photos, shipping, and shop policy. All right, so when you're thinking about your inventory to start off with, shoppers are looking for ways to stay connected. And before I start, you'll get this material again, so you don't have to jot down all of the information. But yeah, so you'll get this slideshow again. So just relax. Anyways, shoppers are looking for ways to stay connected with loved ones, entertain themselves and their little ones, and keep cozy and will optimize at home. So consider building a ready-to-dispatch inventory to appeal to shoppers looking to receive orders quickly. So just coming up with a way so that your products are ready to go. So this is a good time to think of systems. I know I just started doing a batching system so that I make a big bulk of stuff at once, and it has been helping me out enormously. So now I spend maybe 1 to 2 days a week making candles, and everything else is whatever else I need to do. So just kind of coming up with a system so your stuff is ready to go and ready on the shelf, and doing things in stages. So if you're making candles, doing things in stages, maybe one day you decide to make a whole bunch of one type of candle, put that on the shelf, and kind of plan out your whole batching strategy. It's going to help you out a lot. All right, so let's move on. Keywords. So this is a big one, and I'm really excited to get into keywords. So I want to just say this right away before we dive into keywords. At this moment in time, if you have any listings in your shop that are actually selling and are doing pretty good, do not change the keywords. do not do it right now because it's too close to the holidays, and typically keywords take about 30 days or so to get established. So if you start changing your already, good sellers now, then you might like kind of mess up your search ranking for the holidays. So big warning, do not touch whatever's selling now. This is just going to be for stuff that's not selling or new things that you're adding to your shop. And you can always go back after the holidays and revamp your keywords, but try not to do that like right before a holiday. I would do that 30 days before any holiday coming up. So let's see. Okay, with millions of people around the world shopping during the Christmas season, it's important your listings are optimized. So refining your titles and tags and item descriptions and all that good stuff are really good things that you should be doing both on and off Etsy. So let's get into some techniques we can do. So I put an example up here and I'm going to explain what this is all about. So lead with the most relevant keywords. When someone searches on Etsy, the system scans your titles and tags for matches. So imagine what buyers would type in to search and find your items and use those words or phrases. So what this whole little slide is saying is this example that I have on the screen of my little peppermint mocha candle here. Basically, you can see how I titled this. Like, this is called a peppermint mocha candle, but after doing some keyword research, I found that the phrase Christmas candle is going to get me more searches than me just, calling it a peppermint mocha candle. So what that means is I know people are going to be searching for Christmas candles. So I want to put that at the beginning of the title, even though this is called a peppermint mocha candle. I'll still slap that in there, but we'll do that after our main relevant keyword. So what's really cool about this is I just put this listing up yesterday on Etsy and my shop. I actually planned on doing promotion, but I just didn't get time to. So what happened was this actually started selling on Etsy already. I haven't done any promotion and people have already been buying it as of yesterday. Now, when it comes to my personal shop, no one's bought it because I haven't told anybody about it yet. I haven't done any promotion. So this just gives you a good example of how keywords can work for you when you kind of do it the correct way, do your research and all of that good stuff. So don't underestimate like your titles, tags, the placement of the keywords in the listing. That can, play a big role when buyers are like scanning through. And just imagine if they type Christmas candles in, if that's directly in the front of your listing, then they'll see that and it's going to trigger their mind. They'll be like, oh, I just typed that in. Let me click what this is. So yeah. And then I think I put a note here. So that's why it's really important to have like a niche and understanding of your audience. So we're not here to serve everybody. So the candle industry, any industry you're in, there's always going to be little sub niches. So whenever you're creating your business, like having a specific target audience in mind, like I'm not a luxury brand. I'm not someone who's going to make like super luxurious, like minimalist style candles. That's not my brand. I'm not here to serve those people. There are other creators out there who that is their brand. So that's kind of their target audience. And then for me, I'm a little bit on the decorative or quirky side. So that's kind of who I'm reaching with my keywords and how I present my products, if that makes any sense. And yeah. All right. So and let's see. And I'll also have questions. So I'll have like a little time for questions and stuff after we do this whole keyword thing. If you have any confusion or questions about keywords, I will get to those after I kind of present a little bit. All right, so tip number 2 is to approach your listings from a shopper's perspective. Generally, shoppers are looking for gifts by type, price, and recipient. So to capture their attention in your listing, emphasize why your item would make a great gift based on their needs and highlight examples of potential recipients in your product description. So that means saying, okay, is this for a wedding gift? Is it a Christmas gift, a birthday gift? So putting that in the actual title will help even more with like search results because you're telling them right away who it's for. So that kind of helps you out there too. So let's see, there's a lot of little sub notes here. So your listing descriptions won't directly influence your placement in Etsy search, but they can be crawled by Google. So that's why it's a really good way practice to put your your keywords. So for example, that Christmas candle I showed you earlier, when I put that up on Etsy, I made sure to put that in my title, in my description, and in my keywords or tags on Etsy. And even though like what Etsy is saying here, that your description doesn't really matter as far as Etsy ranking, it does matter in Google ranking, because Google is seeing that web page and analyzing all of that SEO there. So that's more so for Google. And if you sell Christmas gifts, you could try keywords like stocking stuffer or stocking filler, kind of, really getting that audience that you're looking for. So those are some tips for you. All right. So as far as like the recipient, putting the recipient in the title or the description, you can put, gifts for teacher, gifts for dad, gifts for kids, and just take a moment to consider who's shopping for your items right now and whether it may be different during the holiday season. So this is a good time to go into your SEO before the season. And like I said, if you're creating new listings now, you can do that now with your new listings, figuring out who it's for and kind of catering the listing to that person. So if it's a personalized gift for mom, you would put that somewhere in the description or in the title and all that good stuff. And do you do different keywords for all candles? So for me, it depends on what season it is or what exactly that candle is kind of themed. So if it's Halloween, of course I'll do a Halloween theme and stuff like that. If it's personalized, I'll change it up. I do have some core keywords because a lot of my products are the same kind of category. So dessert candles, food candles, those are like ones that are always going to be kind of my core keywords. And then I'll change it up according to whatever the product is or who it's aimed towards, just like Etsy is saying here. All right. Keyword is pretty much like a hashtag. I guess so. I guess you could say that. You'll have a little place in the keywords section. And I guess it is like a hashtag. It's a way to get found in search. So that's a good kind of analogy there. All right. So tip number 3, adding relevant categories and attributes. So keep in mind that categories typically refer to what an item is as opposed to what the item is made of. So if you have a Christmas tree necklace, the Christmas attribute would be relevant. However, if you have a gold statement necklace that would make a good Christmas gift, then Christmas wouldn't be relevant. So that's kind of how you explain the relevant categories and attributes sections. How do you choose competitive keywords in your products to improve ranking? All right, so let me type something in the little chat here so I can tell you guys. Just let me find the chat. All right, so there is a tool that I like to use called eRank, and let me get to the chat. So eRank is how you can find all of those type of things. The product, let me type it here. Actually, I don't think I would have to end this too. Let me minimize this and I'll type it in. So erank.com is one way that I find keywords, and you can actually also use marmalade.com. So those are really good options for keywords. So let me go back to the stream, and there we go. All right, so erank.com. So that's how you can find keywords, and there's kind of a when you go on there, it's going to look really overwhelming, but after a while you'll get to understand how it works. And basically you use a third-party software to find relevant keywords. And how eRank is designed, they have a whole program and they keep up with trends, how people are searching for things, what they're searching for, what's popular in search. So there have been many times in eRank where I have actually gotten on and I'm just scrolling, looking through things, and eRank has given me ideas of what to make. I had no idea something I think I'll have an example later, vintage Christmas is a thing. I would have never thought of that, but then when you go into these programs, they kind of get your mind turning, because coming up with keywords is kind of it's where are you supposed to start? But eRank and also marmalade.com make it easy for you. Now these are paid subscriptions, but I think it's well worth it. I always use those before I ever make anything. So that's how I come up with competitive keywords. What I don't do is I don't go to other people's listings and copy their keywords, because if someone else is already ranking high in whatever keyword they put in, like how am I going to compete with that? So like I don't even go into other people's listings. I know that used to be a strategy back in the day where you would go into another candle maker's listing, scroll down to the bottom and copy all their keywords. I would do my own research. I don't think that's it's better just to do like the eRank thing and come up with competitive keywords. You may be using the same keywords as somebody else, but you may find a keyword that is totally unique and nobody else is using it. Sometimes you find golden keywords on there, like that nobody else is using but people are searching for, and it's really awesome when you find those, because you're like, yes, it's like finding gold pretty much. Oh, eRank has a free version. I didn't know that. Cool. eRank has a free version. What is the other name of the website for keywords? I tend to misspell it, so let me make sure I spell it right. So Marmalade, I think is what it's called. I'll copy and paste this into the chat for you guys. Marmalade. But I had no idea that there was this type of stuff for keywords until I started actually diving into SEO and learning more about it. And let me copy and paste this one. So this is Marmalade. That I haven't used Marmalade in a long time, so I'm not sure what's new with that. But that's another option, and some people like do that one too. All right, so okay. So adding relevant keywords, attributes, and all that good stuff. So let's move on to the next tip, writing enticing listing descriptions. So essential need to know info should be at the top of your listing description. With seasonality and your target market in mind, try adding a sentence or two that brings your product's storyline to life. I tend to do this. I don't do it like extreme, but I'll kind of, make it flow and just add a little bit like, what do I'll say? I'll say, okay, the scent of vanilla and gingerbread will bring warmth to your home, or nostalgia, or something like that. Just a quick little snippet of how the thing makes you feel, or just to give an idea of the scent. So maybe describing the characteristics of an ideal recipient, or sharing a brief anecdote of how the product came to be. So that's really good tips too. Let's see here. So that's another tip for you guys, writing listing descriptions. And one thing to put in your listing descriptions is sometimes people don't like reading the whole listing description. So what I'll do is I'll do the description and then I'll make bullet points. So people who are just wanting to know XYZ, and just know about it without having to read, they can look at the bullet points and then have an idea. So I'll do the description, and then the bullet point, I'll do the scent name, and then I'll do the size, the burn time, and what else do? I do the scent. Yeah, so that's what I do. So the scent, burn time, size, that's all I need to know. And so I'll put those important things in bullet points. You are very welcome, Rochelle. All right, think globally. Now, I don't sell globally. I used to when I first started in 2015, but I find shipping candles is the cost, my tablet. The cost is kind of high to ship candles, and I just haven't done it or looked into it recently. So, but if you do ship globally, I know if you do jewelry or something, that's amazing because it's so light. So double check your shop language and everything matches and are fluent in the translation tool, and keep in mind of the certain items by name. So in some places, sweater also might be called a jumper or pullover. So keep all that stuff in mind too if you're selling globally. All right, finding the right keywords takes time. Just like I told you guys earlier, it takes time to come up with these keyword formulas. And when I first started learning search engine optimization, I was like, oh my gosh, it was a whole different world learning. And it's not just about the search, it's also about the way your shop is put together, how, the customer perceives the whole the whole package. But don't forget to periodically, oh my gosh, I thought I turned it down. Okay. Don't forget to periodically check your shop stats to identify which keywords draw the most views to your shop, especially when experimenting with seasonal tags and titles. So about every 30 days or so, you can go in and check like your shop stats. And I think on the next slide, I have an example of the shop stats. So take advantage of that. There are so many people who do not go into the shop stats to really analyze like what's going on with their shop, how things are performing, and you can get a lot of great insight by just checking out those stats. And let's see, I've lived in Australia and I've been wanting to buy one of your candles. I know. Is there any way I can get one? So that'll probably be something I have to work on next year, figuring all of that out, the shipping and all of that good stuff, because there's so many people who want to buy my candles internationally, and definitely in the summer I won't be able to offer that. So that's more of like when it's a colder, like probably maybe the beginning of the year, until like summertime would be a good time to think about that. So I will think about that, Charlotte. Thank you so much. So let me look here and move on to shop stats. Okay, so here is my least viewed item on Etsy. So I went and I found what item is just not doing good. So this particular item, I need to analyze the listing to see where I can make some improvements. So to look at this information, you would go to your dashboard and then you would go to Etsy search, and then you'll find your listings ranked by views. So stats on your Etsy dashboard and then Etsy search. So when I'm looking at this, so again, do not change keywords after a few days without, so if you go ahead and you rework your whole listing and then you wait like 5 days and you're like, oh, no one's still buying it, I'm going to change it again. That's too soon. It's like a waiting game. You have to wait at least like 30 days, come back, see how it's doing, analyze the, what did good this time, what still didn't do good that time, and then keep it going until you kind of figure out, how you can get your listing better. So it's a long waiting game. It takes time. All right. And then let's see, it takes a while. So another tip is to make a copy of your listing and then do the appropriate changes and delete the old listing. So what I'm saying here is don't do this to listings that are selling, because, so for example, this grandma's cookie listing that you see on the screen, this just really isn't selling for me. Not many people buy it. So for me, I would probably make a copy of the listing, so you can go into Etsy and duplicate listings and then delete the old listing. The reason I do this is because it resets the stats on it. So Etsy thinks, okay, people aren't clicking on this. If I change the SEO and all that, it might give me a little bit of a boost, but I think it'd be even more helpful just to delete the old one and then just start again with the copy, because then it's a fresh new listing that Etsy can work with. So I wouldn't do that for something that's selling, just things that really aren't selling that great. So when I analyze this listing, I know why. Like, I've always hated the picture on this particular listing. I always thought it could be better, just never got around to doing that. And also, when you look at the way I did that title, do you see how I did that? I put grandma's cookies in the front. Like, who's searching for grandma's cookies? Probably nobody. So in this case, maybe I could put food candle in the front, or just candles or something else in the front. Now, if you look at what people are actually searching for on here, you can see cool candles gets a little bit of search. So these terms here are coming from my tags. And you can see there's not much going on here. Only one listing here, or one listing from Google, or one click from Etsy, one click from Google. So these aren't really good keywords. So maybe I could think about reworking the keywords here. And there's some things I could do to improve this listing. So that just gives you an example of how you can look at a listing, kind of analyze it using what I'm telling you today about, we'll talk about pictures here in just a second, but talking about the way we structure the title. We need to captivate our audience, and putting grandma's cookies in the front just probably isn't a good idea. And then probably reworking the search terms, and then letting this sit again for 30 days and coming back to see, are more people clicking it? Are more people buying it? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be more people are buying it, but if you see an improvement in clicks, then you're doing something right. So that's how I would look at it. All right, I see something here. If you plan on selling more than candles, does Etsy categorize it? So yes, if you plan on selling more than candles, you would have the appropriate category. So if you're going to sell soaps, you would sell it in the soap category, and yeah, so it would work out for you there. I haven't got sales through my website. Should I transfer to Etsy? I like this question because I think a lot of people okay, so I've had a student before and they did their whole launch and everything for their website, but she actually ended up skipping the part where you create an Etsy shop because she said she had a lot of people who were interested in buying her candles, and so she just went ahead and started her own shop. And so when launch day came around, she had about 200 visits, but nobody purchased, and she was wondering why that happened. So that happens because only 1 to 2% of people who visit your shop will purchase. So if you have 100 people that come to your shop, on a good day, one person will purchase from you. So that's why when you create your own website, you need to find a way to drive thousands in traffic to your own website. So that's why Etsy already does that for you. So for example, like with the peppermint mocha candle, I didn't promote my candle yet on my own shop. So nobody bought it because I did not send people to the shop yet to look at the new product. But Etsy, on the other hand, people are always on Etsy. No one's just sitting on my shop unwinding with candles waiting for new stuff. But on Etsy, I put the product up there and people are already buying it because of the way I structured the keywords. And there's already millions and millions of buyers on Etsy just wanting to buy stuff. They're already there. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to get those people over to your listing. So that's one thing. If you are a brand new person and you're brand new, starting your own shop, if you already have a social media following, then go for it. But I wouldn't expect too many sales from your own shop if you don't, because like I said, only 1%, 1 to 2% of people will buy. So I would start on Etsy, and then at the same time, while you're doing all the SEO, then you can be building whatever social media, whatever platform you decide to build. But yeah, let's see. I'm going through the same thing. I got one sale on my website in 2 months. Yeah, so that's just kind of how it is. Like, you'll probably get a lot of people who will say, yeah, I will buy something. I would love to see your shop. But then they actually don't end up coming back, or they might forget or something like that. So it's really hard to get those people to your shop. On average, it takes about 7 visits with a new like brand. So while, when you spot a new brand, it takes on average 7 interactions with that brand before someone feels comfortable buying from them. So when you start your own shop, you're going to have to be constantly driving traffic. You have to show up everywhere. You have to show up in people's feeds because there's so much stuff to choose from out there. There's so many products. Like, anytime I get on any platform, there's a product in my face. So it's really easy for someone to forget about it. And with, daily life, it's easy to forget. So you would have to constantly be bringing those people back to your shop. Yeah, so keep your website and do Etsy shop too. Yeah, you could do that. Definitely, you can keep your website, definitely keep a domain. So you don't even have to have a website, but just buy your domain if you plan on starting on Etsy and then doing like a website later. That's why SEO is so important. Exactly. So I'm doing good on Etsy. I don't know when I should make my own shop. Whenever you feel comfortable. I think it's definitely a good idea to eventually make your own shop, because, being on Etsy, like if the algorithm changes, if something changes, then you'd have to go back and change stuff in your shop. So being on your own shop is always a great idea eventually, when you get to the point where, like, maybe you've built up a few return clients and then they want to come back to your shop. So whenever you feel like you've kind of built the momentum, then maybe that'd be a good idea. I roll some shipping costs into the price of candles. I'm afraid people believe it's too expensive. Yeah, you need to roll shipping costs into your candles, absolutely. And I think we're going to talk about shipping. I will definitely talk about shipping, but roll shipping costs into your candles, because that's what I do. And don't ever think that your candle will be too expensive. That's kind of like, yeah, at a certain point, your candle can be really on the expensive side, but that's a more luxury candle. People do buy luxury candles, and it's all about how you bring your product to the table. And if you present yourself as someone who is going to sell a $30 candle, then people will, you will attract the audience that is there to buy a $30 candle. So you don't want to ever lose money. So for example, we will talk for a second about how on Etsy you do get found also when it comes to SEO, the search, when you offer free shipping. So for me, I do have free shipping on my shop when you purchase $35 or more. So when I first started my Etsy shop, I used to do free shipping on every single product, and that was okay, and I had shipping rolled into the cost. But when I decided to only do free shipping on $35 or more, you still get the benefit of offering free shipping, getting found, or getting bumped up in search for free shipping. So you still get that benefit with the $35 or more shipping option. So if someone buys one candle from me, then it's a $5 shipping cost. If they buy two, then it's free shipping, and I can put, I have the package here, so let me show you. So one of these packages can fit 2 candles. So I can fit $46 in candles, and this cost me, well, during the normal time, this cost me $7.75 to ship, but since it's the holidays, it's like $8 or something. So for $8, I can ship 2 candles in here, and I do have a shipping buffer in my prices. So, and then if the customer decides they only want 1 candle, they're going to pay $5 shipping, and I still have that shipping buffer in my price. So what I found is that when you actually do shipping where it's like $35 and over, you get free shipping. People actually tend to buy 2 candles because psychology or something, they want free shipping, so they tend to buy 2 candles. So that's kind of what I've noticed. All right, so let's see here. Ooh, Etsy ads. I think we will talk about ads too. Then Nosedive. I'm still trying to figure out Etsy ads because it's totally different than promoted listings, which Etsy used to have. And I used to have a lot better luck with promoted listings. So the thing with Etsy ads, now Etsy is going to be advertising on Google and Bing, and those Google clicks are very expensive. So Etsy clicks, back when it was promoted listings, it was just Etsy clicks. But now when you toggle on Etsy ads, now Etsy is going to be promoting it on Etsy, Google, Bing, and then it's more expensive. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I haven't found out any formula. Hopefully they make it to where you might have a little bit more control over those ads. So that's kind of what I know as of now. So let's talk about photos and videos. Etsy has a new option where you can actually put videos into listings, and this is really, really cool. I have done a couple, but I need to make them better. I kind of just threw video up there, but I can definitely make it better, so that'll be something I'll look into. So this is a really great way to show, especially now where a lot of people are shopping online, you can show them how it looks in your hand or how it looks in real life, because I know we tend to kind of tweak our photos and stuff to look nice, so they can get a real nice perspective of the product. So that's kind of cool. And then you have 10 photos, and now you have the little video that you can add. Alrighty. Okay, so here's an example of products of mine. And let's see. So I have a bad example and a good example. So this first top one is an Etsy photo that I took when I first started my Etsy shop in 2015. I used to sell room sprays and stuff, and I thought this was good at the time. I was like, oh, this photo is good. But now that I look at it, it's totally bad. It's terrible, because let me tell you why. And I tend to see sometimes people will over stylize their photos, just like I did here. And that is very distracting. So first of all, we have this distracting background that matches the room spray. And then also I have 2 room sprays here. This listing was for 1 room spray. That's confusing. Why would I have 2? And then I have a candle back here, and I'm not selling a candle in this listing. So why is there a candle back here? And then this kind of distracting green stuff here. So I feel like this whole photo is distracting. It's an eyesore. It's confusing. And back then I had no idea. So I would not do this nowadays. And yeah. So this is an example of a good photo. It's clear. It looks boring. I know when you want to do your photos, you want to put all this stuff in the background, and that's okay for one photo, maybe the lifestyle shot or something like that. You can actually style it up. But for the main photo, so this information I got straight from Etsy, from 2 different people. having it on a white background does the best. Having it like just like this, and sometimes you can put a little bit of something back here to kind of style it up a bit, but for the like majority, a white background is what does the best with shoppers, and it's clear, they know exactly what they're looking at, and it kind of just pops out. So when you're scrolling through, and imagine seeing this first one up here, like while you're scrolling really fast, you're not going to get a clear image of what's selling, so you're just probably going to scroll past it. But here you can see right away, it's a candle, it's one candle, and then there's no confusion here. So this is an example. And then to take this photo, I don't do anything fancy. So I just use a poster board from the Dollar Tree and then good lighting. So poster board from the Dollar Tree is what this was taken on. And then natural light, good lighting. You can get artificial light if you want. I usually use artificial light, honestly. I don't have enough natural light. And then just, you know, editing it to look nice. And I like to put a little shadow on the bottom because it gives it like it's actually sitting on something. So that's an example of a bad photo and a good photo. So let's see. Are you using a padded bag to ship your candles? I'm using shutterproof boxes, but if people order multiple candles, I waste money buying different sizes. Okay, so I only sell one size of candle just for ease because I don't have a whole bunch of different sizes. So I do have a shatterproof box. I don't have one here, but I have a corrugated box that I put them in, and then just the size, I just so happen to realize I can fit 2 in here. So this is a padded mailer, and then these are free on USPS, but they are flat rate shipped, so you will always expect to pay like $8 for these. So when you're shipping it, it's going to be $8. It's free to get the actual mailer. And these are padded, and then also my boxes are corrugated so that it's even more protected, and then I do just a little layer of bubble wrap. So I never used to have them shatter. I never used to have to add bubble wrap to it. That's how good the corrugated box was. But one time it did shatter, so after that one time I said, okay, I'm just going to do bubble wrap. So I bubble wrap it, put it in the corrugated box, and then put it in here, and then I can fit 2 in here, and it's fine. All right. I spend $50 a day on Etsy ads. Sales should be consistent, but they drop down to nothing. Then I drop advertising for 2 days and increase spending. It is a roller coaster. And sometimes Etsy ads, like even if you tell them to spend 50, they won't spend all the 50. Sometimes they may, sometimes they might not. So it is definitely a roller coaster. And yeah, I just haven't played enough with it to know too much about Etsy ads. And someone said photos are the bane of my existence. Yeah, I feel you. I hate taking photos. I hate taking photos. So now yeah, I find the white photos they're easy because you don't have to style them up or anything. It's literally just a white background, but it's not my favorite. All right. Okay, I found a photo box on Amazon for $15. It has a white background and built-in light. Oh yes, I've had one of those too. Maybe I might buy one again. The particular one I had was really small. I remember I had it, and then I ended up getting rid of it. I just didn't like it. But maybe there's another one that I can buy in the future that is like better than the one I bought. Do you adjust prices on your personal site when you don't include the free shipping? I include the free shipping everywhere. So the free shipping it's the same price on Etsy. So no matter where you buy it, you're always going to pay the same. The only place is Amazon. So Amazon will always be free shipping because Amazon is in a warehouse, but everywhere else is the same. So my website is free shipping over $35, and then Etsy is the same, free shipping over $35, and if you buy one candle, it's $5. Ooh, someone says I love taking photos. I wish. Oh, nice. Okay, let's see what's next. Delivery. As we head into the Christmas season, make sure you keep your processing times up to date. And then this is just good information. You can put it in your shop announcement. So you can do like a holiday shop announcement where you have a clear example of how long processing is going to take. So that's a tip for you there. And shop policies is really important too. There's a lot of people who don't complete their shop policies, and actually you get ranked better in Etsy. So Etsy wants to see professional sellers. They want to see people who are active, people who are serious. So if you have your shop policies filled out, then that does also give you a better ranking in Etsy. So, and Etsy has auto-generated shop policies, so you don't have to like think of them yourself. You can kind of tweak them for your own usage. So that's a tip. All right, so on your feed, so this is increasing traffic. So here's some tips here. Don't forget to tag at Etsy, so buyers checking out the Etsy feed can discover your posts too. That's a good idea. Set up saved replies for questions. So when you are doing the messages and you get a lot of messages, you can actually do saved replies. So it makes it easier if you're getting a recurring question over and over. You can message them back really fast. And connecting with a creator or curator makes shopping on Etsy extra special. So handwritten notes, always a little customization it always makes people feel really nice shopping small. So I like to add little samples. I don't do the handwritten notes anymore. You can do those. That's an option. You want to do like a thank you note. I like to just send samples. So I'll send them a nice little sample in their package, and it's a nice surprise. So finding a great gift on Etsy feels awesome, but it's even better when it's delivered for free. And that is exactly, and it's not Etsy making this up, you guys. It's not Etsy wanting you to just give free shipping. It really is buyer psychology, and they've done research. They asked people, like they've asked shoppers, and most shoppers, they want free shipping just because we're so used to seeing that nowadays on other platforms like free shipping. So when buyers come, unfortunately, they do have that in their mindset that, shipping's free. So if you don't have any type of free shipping set up, they may just hop over to someone else that does. So that is not Etsy's fault. It's just kind of how we've evolved as online shoppers. Can you just use an app for the photos? You can use an app. I can't. Lightroom is an app you can use. I just tend to take my photos on my DSLR camera and then I edit them on my computer, but you can also use Lightroom. So those are options for you. How are your shipping costs so low? Was that an envelope flat rate? So yeah, the shipping cost it's a flat rate envelope. So usually the flat rate costs $7 to ship. So if someone buys one candle from me, they're going to pay $5 to ship. So I'm not paying that much. So I already have kind of a cost rolled into my price. So then, okay, there's $2 rolled into my price. So, and then the customer is covering $5. Now, if they buy 2 candles, then I'm still shipping that thing for $7. So now they've bought 2 candles, you know what I mean? So then the profit margin is higher. Free shipping, increase item cost to make the same profit. And let's see. How many candles would you sell a month? Just have a benchmark for what really good business sells like. Sells a month, so it can vary. So sometimes in the summer, this summer was like, I was blown away by the amount of people that were shopping. And then it just varies. So sometimes it's a few hundred, sometimes it's not really any sales, but I would just, I wouldn't give it a benchmark. So everyone is different. So there are people out there who sell thousands of candles a month. And I think I'm okay selling how much I sell a month. So I don't know. I guess maybe it really just is up to you. A good business sales on Etsy looks like. So the business sales are really how you make of it. And to be honest, the more listings you have, the better you get found in search. And that's one thing that I'm still working on, creating more listings so that I can get found in search. And just the more listings you can kind of get more sales that way. And I guess maybe that could be like your sales could be as much as you want them to be if you create more listings. There's some people who have like hundreds of listings and they sell ton of candles, and that's one thing I'm trying to trying to work on myself. I can't come up with like new stuff fast enough, so maybe that could be like in the future when I hire other people on or something like that. But that's, you know. Do you carry business insurance? I do have business insurance, and I have for product insurance you would need product liability insurance to so like if your candle damages somebody's home, you would need that kind of insurance. Doo-doo-doo. What's your shop name on Etsy? It's Winding Wick Candles, but with no spaces. So on Etsy, the search is very hard. So like when you find like when you have a shop, and typically my shop has like spaces in it. So you would think you would type Winding space Wick space candles, but when you search on Etsy, you don't put any spaces. So that's what that is. Duplicate listings of the same. You can't do duplicate of the same item. So if you were to duplicate a listing, like if you were trying to revamp your search, you would need to delete the previous listing. You can't have duplicate listings. That's against Etsy policy. What software do you use for inventory, and does it link with Etsy? So the software is Crafty Base, and it does link with Etsy. Oh, and this is the keyword or the question slide. So I guess we're taking questions for a second. So if you have any questions about keywords and shipping and all that good stuff. All right, so I had a soft launch with my Etsy candle shop, and I felt it was costly being that I created all the traffic through family, friends, and I'm working on getting more traffic on Etsy. Okay, so someone was asking for Crafty Base. It's called Crafty Base. And let me type it for you. So this is the inventory I use. craftybase.com. All right. Okay. Yeah, so when you first start an Etsy shop, let me drink water. It's going to take a while to get sales, and especially like when you're a new shop, the search engine optimization and stuff is going to take a little bit. So I used to not get any sales. Like when I first started in 2015, my Etsy shop was dead. Like nobody was buying from that thing. And that was when I really didn't know about search engine. And then when I came back in like 2018, kind of before I even started the channel, then I decided to take it serious, and I started seeing sales from people I never knew, like just strangers. I was like, oh, okay, so that's what you have to do. When do you think would be the best to get candle insurance? Yeah, I guess your best bet, like when you want to start selling your candles, you would probably want to get candle insurance. Does a different fragrance of the same type of candle does a different fragrance of the same type of candle qualify as a different listing? Yeah, it does. So if anything is different about the listing, that can be a new listing. So if the fragrance is different, then that would be a new listing. Have I used MailChimp to drive traffic? I have. So a good example, so MailChimp, I don't use MailChimp anymore. I use ConvertKit now, but I did use MailChimp in the beginning. So you can create free landing pages. So let's say you have an Etsy shop and you don't have your own personal shop yet. And you're like, I still want to collect emails, because on Etsy you can't collect emails. So go on MailChimp, create a free MailChimp account, and then you can make a landing page. And the landing page is free. And then you can put it in your social media. So like on your link in your bio, you can put grab a coupon, sign up for my email list, and it'll be a 1-page landing page. Have someone sign up for your email list, and then you can send them a coupon to use on Etsy. I started my own website and I'm not getting sales. Yeah, so we talked about that a little bit in the beginning, but starting your own website, I pretty much said, like as a summary, starting your own website, you're going to have to drive thousands and thousands of people to your website in traffic, because 1% of people is expected to buy. Is your business registered as an LLC? Yes, I have an LLC. How do you maintain cost of your shop, but also keep up with trends and drive traffic. So I'm always someone who believes in multiple streams of income, because whenever you start something new, like, you know, like with the candle shop, I don't expect to get a ton of sales. So having other side gigs or something, so maybe to help like with income streams. So I talked about it before. I used to sell things online to help with the candle business. So if you have an idea in mind, and if you're like worried about costs and stuff like that, then you can have another type of little gig. And I know it's a lot, and I know sometimes you're like what, you want me to do something else to, you know, a side hustle for my side hustle? But you know, that's, you know, how it is. I like to do multiple streams of income so that I can always have something going and I can bring my ideas to life. So that's kind of one thing. How do you determine labor costs when factoring in candle prices? So for me, I don't have a set labor cost. I think about how many I can make in an hour. So if I need to buy a piece of equipment, so for me, like buying a piece of equipment to help me up what I can make in an hour, then, you know, I'm going to buy the thing. So like for me, like a KitchenAid, so that helps me make more in an hour. And I know some people, they'll do like their labor cost. I think how much profit can I make in an hour, and then if I'm okay with that. So if I can make like 45 candles in like 3 hours or something like that, divide it by 3, and then let's just say, I don't know my exact, but let's just say your profit is like $10 or something per candle. So you'll say 45 candles, and then I don't know, profit of $10 a candle, so that's $450 in 3 hours divided by 3, 150 profit. And then, you know, you have to get into overhead and stuff like that. So pricing is a whole, you know, little strategy as well. Okay, a girl told me before she had an Etsy and didn't make a sale for a whole year, but she didn't give up, and I'm not going to with any expectation. Yeah, so like I said, I didn't have many sales on Etsy when I first started at all. But it's always a slow process. It's a learning process. So it's all about learning how to do these things, because you think, like when I first started candles, I thought, okay, if I just make a good candle, people will buy it. But it's about getting people to it, getting people excited about it, getting them to come back, like return customers and stuff like that. So it definitely is a process, and it's a long process. But if you're passionate about it, you know, it'll be easy to continue on, and you'll be excited when you start seeing an increase in sales and stuff like that. So why have an LLC? Because I have an LLC, and basically that helps you keep yourself separate from your candle business. So when I first started, I was a sole proprietor. And then I got an LLC because, like, if anything were to happen, it kind of keeps you separate. So it keeps your assets separate from your candle business. Like if anyone's house burns down, you know, your candle business is separate from yourself. But if you're a sole proprietor, then everything's kind of together. But then there are some cases where, like an LLC, where you can be like a part, it's like a lot, but for the most part, an LLC, you're separate from your business. Do I have any craft maker insurance? I do have product liability insurance, and there's general liability insurance and product liability. So general liability is like if you were at a craft show and then someone breaks a glass and then they hurt their hand, then that would be general liability because they hurt your hand on your property. But if they took that candle home and then their house burned down, general liability won't always cover that. Like I tried to ask a previous insurance company and they were like on a case by case basis, blah, blah, blah. So then I decided, okay, I need product liability insurance. So Indie Business Network and Soap Makers Guild have that type of liability insurance. I haven't found it anywhere else. Maybe it's somewhere else. Those are the only two I could find that have product liability insurance for soap makers, bath and body, and candle making. So, but I'm sure there's other companies out there. Those are the only two that I could find, like, you know, after some digging. Let's see. what methods do you use in inventory when your demand is high? So basically, when I got really busy over the summer, which was odd, a batching strategy, so batching candles, I had to kind of plan ahead what I was going to batch. So that helped out a lot. And I bought a Cricut, and I'm having problems customizing labels. How do mine come out great? I don't know. I like to watch a lot of people who make stickers. So I took what they were doing with their stickers and then I just applied it to my candle label. So I was already watching people who make stickers for a living. That's how I kind of that's the idea behind my studio vlogs, because I was already watching like studio vlogs, but I only saw sticker makers. I never saw people doing candles. So I was like, oh, I'll do candles. But I was already watching like sticker people. And if you watch sticker makers, you'll find they'll tell you like tutorials and stuff, how they do all that. Indie Business Network is the insurance. And with Indie Business Network, so like you have to join. It's actually a membership, and you can only get access to the insurance if you join the membership. And it's the same with Soap Makers Guild. So both of them are kind of the same format. You have to join the their network, and then you'll have the access to the discounted insurance. Have I always had the same labels? So when I first started, I used to hand cut my labels because I did not have money for a Cricut machine. So I wanted the idea of a custom label, and I just did not have, like, I didn't want a square or a circle. So I would hand cut them. I would just print them out and cut them by hand. And I did that. I mean, it got crazy. Cutting all the labels by hand. If I have insurance, would I still need an LLC? Yes, you would still need like an LLC or sole proprietor or something like that. Okay, let's see. All right, seasonal marketing strategies. So now we're going to move on and talk about some marketing strategies: social media, trends, ad campaigns, communications, coupons, and sales. All right, so some Christmas marketing tips. While there are definitely do's and don'ts, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to marketing. Instead, every Etsy seller embarks on their own journey, developing specialized plans that match their brands and needs. Let's go through the different strategies. Keep these quick tips in mind. So consider sharing photos of your items in Christmas scenes. So doing little, just getting people in the mood to shop for your items. Relevant hashtags to get discovered. And go live on Facebook and Instagram. One thing I don't see on this little thing, which I think is funny, is TikTok. So going live on Facebook and Instagram are good ways, because I feel like having video somewhere, like having some type of video platform, does a little bit better than just photos. So if you want to go live and just tell people about the new scent you have or something like that. But TikTok is amazing. So I've been kind of on there and studying what does well, and people are, like, I've barely messed on TikTok. I've done a few. I think I have like 800 something followers. I never advertise it on my social media, and it has really good engagement. So I notice on there, like, people comment back. Like on Instagram, I feel like a lot of the engagement are people who already know me from the channel, but on TikTok, it's like new people. They'll ask me questions about my candles. How do I do that? They'll be like, is that food? Is that wax? So I can tell they're kind of new to me and my brand. So getting on there and just like making consistent content will be another really great way. And I'm not going to say you're going to be TikTok famous or anything, but I mean, I find that people on there, like, I've purchased stuff from people and people have purchased stuff from me on there. So that's another way you could do that. TikTok is an amazing platform for small businesses. It really is. There's a whole subgenre on there of just people selling on Etsy and showing your process. People like to see that and connect with the creator. So it's a really, really great place for small businesses. Does having a high number of people favoriting your shop make a difference? No, because when I first started, I used to be a part of these groups because I had no idea what marketing was, or so I think Etsy stopped kind of putting the hearts into their algorithm, because there are people who were doing marketing trains. So pretty much what they would do is they would create Etsy groups, and you would just go down the group and then favorite people's stuff. And I think after a while, Etsy just was over it. And it's not even a great way to market. Like, what does that do? You know what I mean? So and I think people still do that. Like, they'll just go on to groups and then favorite someone below them, and that person favorites all the people below them or something like that. But that's really not creating the type of engagement that you want. It's not creating anyone who is really interested in your product. It really is just a vanity metric, and I don't think vanity metrics really matter if the engagement isn't there. So that's kind of my idea. I'm too shy to put my face on video. That's okay. You can just show your hands. There's tons of people who just show their hands and they talk and they still get engagement. So you don't have to show your face. You know, that's an option. Thank you so much. Test out burning my first candle. Nice. Pumpkin spice. Love it. What's the duration of this workshop? I think I have... Oh my gosh, I still have a lot of slides. So if you guys want to tune out, you can always view the replay and kind of skip through. Let's see. Trends. So trends are approaching, so you can get some inspiration for products here. So update your photos with on-trend styling and stuff like that. You can definitely do, put some of these kind of wintry, you know, Christmas photos in your listings. Ad campaigns. So we kind of talked about ad campaigns a little bit. I don't have much to touch on with Etsy ads. It literally is just you turning on a button and letting Etsy ads do its thing. So there's not much of a strategy to it. Communication. So before you get into the thick of November and December, make sure you assess your production system and fulfillment process. Ensure your postage, returns, and final order are clearly communicated in your shop policies for all of your buyers. All right, so there is a way to do kind of coupons in the marketing section of Etsy. So those hearts you were talking about, when people do genuinely like your item, they heart it, and then you can have Etsy actually set up a coupon, which this is a fairly new system. It's almost like retargeting. So you can have Etsy send them a coupon, the people who heart your items, so it kind of refreshes their mind and they may come back and purchase with your coupon. So let's see, customer service. That's a biggie. Customer service. So pretty much with customer service, I mean, it's self-explanatory, making sure the product gets to them on time, making sure it's a nice experience, the buyer experience is nice, the product looks like the picture. Don't overdo or over edit your product to where the images or the colors look totally different from what they get, because then, you know, their expectations will be one thing and then they get another thing. So just keeping it, you know, you guys know how to do some customer service. It's not that hard. Building buyer loyalty. So with the Christmas season approaching, you may be focusing on stocking up on inventory, developing marketing strategies. So while Etsy is an online marketplace, old sayings like the customer is always right still ring true. So having strong customer service. So you will get, I've gotten 1-star reviews before. I know it sucks, but it happens. People, especially with scents, sometimes people don't like them, or sometimes, you know, the way they smell something may be different, or, you know, there are some scents that some people love and some people don't. So if you end up getting a 1-star review, I usually approach it like this. So when you get a 1-star review, don't ever I know your instinct will be to comment back right away to the review, but when you comment back, it locks it in. So it locks that review in, and the customer won't be able to change it. So if I ever get 1-star reviews, it happens like once a year, typically during Christmas. I will go back and I'll send them a personal message. I never customer blame. I never blame them. All I say is I'll say something. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. I'm sorry the product didn't meet your expectations. And then I will offer them a refund. And since it happens so rare, it's okay. I don't mind giving someone a refund if they legitimately you know, if they're just unhappy. It's very rare it ever happens, probably like once a year. So whenever I do this, just about every time I've ever done it, they change their review to 5-star. And I've even had one person give me such a terrible review on Etsy, like it was bad. And when I messaged him, I was nice the whole time, never blamed him for anything, never got defensive about the bad review. I gave him a refund. He messaged me back, he changed his review. I didn't ask to change the review, but he did anyway. And then he even told me I would definitely shop with you again after giving me such a bad review. So I know sometimes it can sting if you get a bad review or if something like this happens, but just, take a moment and just say, it's okay. It happens to everybody. Nobody's perfect. It happens. So, all right, let's see what you guys are saying on Etsy marketing. Okay, so with Etsy marketing, if you're paying a whole bunch and don't make any sales, is there something about the product? Is there something about the keyword? Are your keywords not targeting the right audience? Are the pictures not appealing to the right audience? There could be some other factors. So like with the ads, it's not like, I know you may have to analyze other things about the product listing to see if there's something else you can change to get the customer to actually purchase. Someone making candles from home. I know it's required to put an address on my label. Is it okay to do a P.O. box, or a virtual address is better? So no P.O. box, do a virtual address. And then I don't have the exact source pulled up, but there is a source that I told to like my students, and there's a little workaround when it comes to putting your address on the labels. And if your address is available, if your business address is available somewhere to the public, like if you can search your business in some type of public record, then you can omit putting the address on the label. The virtual address is okay. You can do that. No P.O. box. So if you'd rather get a virtual address, you can put that on there. Actually, let me see. I'm sorry. I think you have to put the address that you make the candle at. So if you have to put your manufacturer address. I apologize. So I don't think a virtual address would be good in this scenario. So the only time you need to use a virtual address would be like for your email. So for instance, like my email, it doesn't have my address, but it's the law that you have to put like an address there. And a P.O. box won't work there. So a virtual address will be good for your email or for your return address. But as far as the candle label, it has to be where you're manufacturing it. So you can't put an address on the candle label. But if you have your address available publicly somewhere on some type of record, business record, then you can omit putting the address on the label. So if somebody can see that this is made Wine and Wick candles, if they can go into a tax record publicly or something, then you can omit the address. Let's see. So yeah, I don't want to use my personal address. So use a virtual address for your return address. So when you have your address on the package, if you're sending emails, you can use a virtual address. And yeah, so those are times you can use the virtual address. So if you have returns, usually with the virtual address, you will have an actual mailbox. So you can go to the location and then that they will have a mailbox for you. So I use my office address, but when I used to have a virtual address that wasn't an office, what they do is the return, you have a mailbox. So it comes to the front desk and that front desk person will actually put the return in your mailbox, and it's just like a normal mailbox. Oh, someone says it's an online address. So I'm not for sure, but virtual addresses do have an actual street. So my address was a actual like place where I would go to. So I'm not sure if you are someone who gets the mail forwarded to you. So I've never done that thing where the mail comes forwarded to you. But maybe that's an option too. My physical address must be the return address on my Etsy labels, or can I omit it? So you would have to have some way for that return. You have to have a return address. So if you're just doing Etsy labels, you can do a P.O. box. But for legal stuff, like if you were doing like MailChimp and stuff, that can't be a P.O. box. So I know it's kind of confusing. What software for your photos and videos? So videos, I use DaVinci Resolve, and then for photos, I just use ipicky.com. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it works for me. Maybe I'm just old school and I've never like ventured outside of that. But a lot of people use Lightroom for photos. How do you get a virtual address? So I think there's websites where you can get UPS has virtual addresses. So I know UPS for sure has virtual addresses. So let's see what this one's about. So this is about responding to messages. So when you are getting messages, make sure you respond. Don't just leave them hanging, because that will get you some bad reviews and feedback if you don't respond within a timely period. Oh, someone here says they have a virtual address and it's an actual address. Can you have different return policies for different products? I believe so. You can highlight that in your policies section. Alrighty. Prioritize clear and timely communication. So obviously you want to make sure that they're getting their stuff on time and that it's clear. So if it takes you 2 weeks to make something, make it clear on there that it takes 2 weeks. You can even put it in the Etsy description. So just let them know that it's going to take 2 weeks, so that they are very clear, on how long it takes. So this is an example of the policies. Providing detailed shop policies can help buyers make a more informed purchase. Be clear about your shop policies, refunds, exchanges, so all that good stuff. All right, deliver on shoppers' expectations. Update your processing times. We talked about that. So if it's going to take you longer to get orders out, you want to be on time with those things, because it's going to really upset people if you are not on time. And if you're not on time, send them a message, tell them what's up, but try to really be on time with all of that, because that can hurt your shop ranking also if you're always sending stuff late. So just be good about your processing times. Alrighty. So same thing here. Share estimated delivery dates. Same thing. Oh, gift wrapping. So offer gift wrapping. I've talked about this before, but this actually gets you found in search also. So you need to go and turn on the gift wrapping option, and this is going to be in your settings. Settings option, there's a gift wrap. So I think you would find this in settings, and let me actually just look here so I can tell you exactly where you would find this. Info. So while that's loading, so gift wrap is a really great way, because people can filter out like the gift wrap options. So if they're particularly looking for Christmas gifts that already come wrapped and they can send it to their family and friends, they're going to turn that filter on, and everyone who doesn't offer it automatically gets taken out of the filter. So I get a lot of gift orders. So people who are looking for gifts, I do get a lot of those, and I do gift wrap and all of that stuff. So you'd want to take a picture of your gift wrap, and let me make sure. Yeah, so it's in settings and options, and whoops. So taking a picture of your gift wrap, and you will see here, so offer gift wrapping. So here's the option where you can see the gift wrap, and $4 is the recommended. So I do charge for gift wrap. And then take a picture of your gift wrap. Keep it neutral. So don't do specific Christmas gift wrap, or don't do any specific gender gift wrap. Just keep it neutral. Craft paper is great because it's trendy, it's neutral. And then people can also do gift cards. So I'll if they include a gift message, I'll write it out on a gift card, because so sometimes people will do gifts, and if they didn't pay for gift wrap, I'll just print out the little message that Etsy auto generates with the message, and I'll put that in there. I won't add a special card or anything. But if they pay for gift wrap, then I'll write that message out on a nice little card for them. So that is that option. So that's a great way to get found in search too. And let me get back to the comments. Can you offer gift wrapping on select items, or do you have to wrap? I think, you know what, that's a good question. I think there might be a I've never thought about that. I'm not sure if there's, let me look in the listing section to see if there's a switch you can toggle. Maybe there should be. I would assume that would be an option. So that's a good question. While that loads, let's move on. Positive reviews. So I know it kind of stinks when you're first starting your shop, but buyer psychology, like the more reviews you have, it's easier to get sales, like because people will trust you when you have a shop that has a lot of reviews. Now, when you're first starting, you're like, how in the heck am I going to get reviews? Like I have 0 reviews up. Who's going to purchase? Like if I don't have reviews. Now this would be a great time, like I talked to you earlier about family and friends who want to purchase from you. So do not do in-person transactions or DM transactions. Send them over to your Etsy shop, because those are reviews you can get easily, and that is going to drastically boost. Just having 5 reviews there is going to boost the mentality, like the buyer psychology, and people will be more comfortable shopping with you. Whereas if you have like 0 reviews, so that first group of people who are really excited and buy your product, send them over to your Etsy shop so that they can leave reviews there on your products. So I'm still clicking into listings and looking for that question that someone asked. All right, an about page. Do not skip over the about page, you guys. They're so, like, going back to buyer psychology, people want to feel comfortable, especially with a handmade brand. People want to know like who's behind this brand and get that connection. So having a really nice about page with your picture or a picture of the process, is a good way. In this little example, you have the story. So like just a little story about how your shop got started. You can even put videos there. So if you want to do a whole little intro video, that can really connect with people. So let me scroll over here and see if you can toggle a gift wrap option. And I'm scrolling. Let's see. I do not see a gift wrap. I actually do not see a gift wrap toggle on the listings. So that's really interesting. Maybe that's something that we could like ask Etsy to do in the future. Whenever they ask for feedback, that'd be a really good thing to bring up, because I do not see a gift wrap toggle. Interesting. Alrighty. Wait, cancel. Cool. So let's look at any questions. I hate gift wrapping. Oh, I actually like gift wrapping. Let's see. Etsy charges a fee when offering gift wrap. So you can customize your gift wrap. Etsy recommends $4, but I mean, if you have fancy gift wrap, you can charge more if you want. My gift wrapping skills are crap. Maybe watch some YouTube videos. Yeah. So, okay. I did not like when people try to buy in person. Shipping was free also. Yeah. Some of my items are print on demand. So I understand, like, that is really interesting. I'm wondering if that's something that Etsy, because I would think that would be an option that you could toggle on and off. So we talked about social media presence, and it's one of the most effective low-cost promotional tools. And to be honest, you guys, I know, like, I personally don't really care to be on social media. I do scroll through TikTok nowadays, but I don't scroll through Instagram. I do watch YouTube videos, like I do like to watch YouTube, but I really don't care about social media all that much. I don't even have a personal social media, so all of it is just for my business. So I know, like, sometimes we just don't want to be on there, but to be honest, that's just kind of the times. It's hard to get people to buy your item unless it's just something super crazy unique, or unless you're going to do paid advertising. So if you're going to spend the money to do like paid ads and stuff, then that might replace kind of, or help having to be on social media. But establishing a social media presence does help with your brand. All right. Selling online would be better than trying to charge tax in person. I mean, I don't know. So that's up to you if saving on the tax is worth. I think reviews are super valuable. So like when someone leaves me a review, I'm like, yes. Like if it's a new product and it's its first review, I'm like really happy, because there's so much value in that review. Oh, thank you, Ronisha. So if a cousin wants to purchase a $10 candle, then I'll say it's $10 plus tax. I know, right? They're gonna look at you crazy. Like, are you serious? I know. All right, so we talked about this. Social media or communicate delays, especially with COVID. So just let them know. I'm sure by now people are kind of understanding with shipping and stuff. If you're having a hard time getting something, just let them know. I think people are more relaxed about shipping nowadays because of COVID. They're not going to be like on you about shipping. All right. Do I do sponsored posts? No, I don't do sponsored posts. I really don't I don't get on Instagram that much. So I don't do sponsored posts or anything. Like, people have asked me, but to be honest, oh, that's my husband. To be honest, let me text him back. So here's my thing. Like, I think maybe people are getting a little bit desensitized to kind of sponsored posts. There's people who do sponsored posts weekly, and I never look at the posts. Like, after a while, I just do not look at the small business promotion posts. I don't know, maybe they do work, but let me just text him real quick, my husband. I don't do them. I don't know. I get desensitized to like when someone does a whole bunch of sponsored posts. What kind of flat rate package do you use for something like my Halloween boxes? So before you even make the price, I factor in. So I use the regional rate boxes, which are kind of flat rate, but not really. Well, they're not flat rate. The boxes are free, but then the price of the box is based off of like the weight and kind of how far it's shipping. But the regional rate boxes are really cheap compared to you using your own box. So if I were just to ship my own, like, brown box, and then it could be more expensive than me putting that same brown box in a regional box and then shipping that. So I always like to use the regional boxes most of the time. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. So when I do my like Halloween box, I kind of think about the price, where it could be shipping. I think about the weight. So I'll get the weight of that product. And I say my most expensive places to ship are California and New York, where I am in Texas. So I will always base my price off of where it's shipping to California or New York. And I love when it's shipping like to other southern states, because then the shipping is so cheap, and I'm like, yes. So it kind of makes up for like those shipping prices to California or New York. But sometimes, it's okay. Sometimes it's a little expensive to ship to those places, so you'll just have to factor that into your cost. So if you say, okay, if at most it's going to cost me about $10, make sure to add $10 to your box price. And I know it's kind of like, you say it's free shipping, but the shipping's in the cost of the box. But that's, someone has to cover shipping, and that's just how I do it. What is the name of the sticker videos? Oh, so there are so many sticker people. Like, if you search studio vlogs on YouTube, almost all of them will be sticker people. When I just love watching them. So some of those people, some of my favorites are Catnip, and she might have a sticker tutorial video on there. I think she does. A lot of them don't do a lot of how-to tutorials, because that's just not their style. So every once in a while they'll do a how-to tutorial, but I know for sure Catnip might have one, and it's KATNIPP. Let's see. Is an LLC by itself good enough to sell online internationally, or patent trademark would be required as well? So patent trademark, isn't that really just so people don't steal like your product, like the product? So I don't know if that has to do anything with like your business, like having an LLC or anything like that. So the trademark really is, protecting your business. And even then, like internationally, the trademark's different. So honestly, like someone from China could steal your idea and you would just never be able to kind of like, because trademark is different in all these different countries. So like China trademark, they just steal each other's ideas all the time. So like that's why a lot of small creators who do art, they get their ideas stolen a lot by China and then sold on websites like AliExpress and stuff like that, just because over there to them it's different. I've read putting your shop on holiday mode hurts your search ranking and algorithm. Okay, so with this, I say I've put my shop on holiday mode like 2-3 times and it's fine. So, okay, if your item was doing good in search before, it might take a little bit to kind of pump back up, but for the most part, I haven't had any halts or stops or changes in putting on holiday mode. And I think that if you start to get really busy, don't hesitate to put it on holiday mode, because the last thing you want to do is have angry customers continue to order, like people continue to order your product and then you might get behind or some crazy stuff. So for instance, when briefly I opened up a shop where I sold masks because I know how to sew, so I was like, okay, I'll just help out because no one can get a mask. So I opened an Etsy shop and I just listed masks, like one mask, and within a day I got over 100 orders, and I put it on holiday mode because I'm like, I want these people to get their stuff within a week. And there were people who were so new to Etsy that they didn't know how to put it on vacation mode. They didn't know about like customer service or how like this all works. So one day I was kind of observing these shops because I had never seen anything like this before ever on Etsy. And I was observing all of these shops. Some people were getting like 20,000 orders and they just kept accepting orders. And I was like, how are you doing that? How are you supposed to do that? And some people just never close the shop down. So I think it's better to close your shop down and get everything out and make sure you're not stressing yourself out, because personally I've done it with my candle shop and I have not seen anything crazy happen. Okay. Can you link TikTok with your Facebook and IG? You can link it with your YouTube and Instagram. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think my YouTube is linked to TikTok, and if you want to have a clickable link, you need to change it to a business account. What advice do you have for a creative block? My Cricut broke, phone broke, computer broke. Everything is restored, but I'm still stressed and stuck. Creative blocks. So sometimes I just want to take a step back. So like when I was doing my whole Halloween thing, I got really stressed out because I had made this whole big old editing project, and I actually went to an Airbnb and I had no idea that there was no Wi-Fi. And when I got there was no Wi-Fi, and I was like, oh, okay, how am I supposed to work? But then having those 2 days where I couldn't even get on the computer was amazing, and it was a total creative reset. So sometimes you just may need to turn it off. And I remember like there's been times where I shut my shop down for like a few days. Sometimes you get a little anxiety about shutting your shop down and things like that, but no one really notices. So I think one time I shut it down for like a week and it was great. So it's okay to take a break. I wish I could sell 100 masks in a day. How did that happen? SEO. Okay, this was crazy. I had never seen anything like this on Etsy. And the day after I made my shop, Etsy actually made a email to everybody, all the people on Etsy. They made an email to everybody, no matter if you were sewist or whatever. Everybody got this email the day after I made my shop that, everyone should make masks. So I had no idea this is something Etsy was trying to. I just kind of was like, people need masks. Let me make masks. I had a whole bunch of extra fabric. I had elastic. I had everything. So I just said, let me just make some masks. And it was a phenomenon. I had never seen this before. It wasn't cute. I mean, the only keyword was mask. I wouldn't say there was any strategy to this whole face mask thing. It really was just supply and demand. No one else in the country had face masks. The only people were people who knew how to sew. So that's where people went. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people who had never shopped on Etsy before, that was their first experience with Etsy. And that could potentially have brought them back for the holidays. Now they know what Etsy was. And unfortunately, if that was your first experience with Etsy and you were one of those people that ordered from a shop that made 20,000 sales in a week and you never got your mask like 5 months later, unfortunately, you may never come back to Etsy because you had a bad experience. So I just think it was just a time of supply and demand. Okay. Alrighty, so we are just going to start going through these because we were just chatting, right? So Etsy sellers are rising to the challenge. So what is this one talking about? We were talking about, trends, new trends for kind of the COVID season and everyone kind of staying inside. So like Etsy says here, face masks, mugs. Have I purchased any new mugs? Maybe. Puzzles. Oh, puzzles are great. I love like little mystery things that I can do on my own, like little mystery puzzles or like those mind-bending ones. Sellers have pivoted their inventory to help shoppers find everyday basics and moments. So just pivoting your shop to kind of see what people are like searching for nowadays. So these are just some key dates Etsy wants you to remember, like holidays and stuff all around the world that people celebrate. I have a mask Etsy store and only had 2 orders. Oh, okay. So when I'm telling you that I did this mask thing, it was very fresh when like COVID, and it was before, because after Etsy sent that email to everybody started doing mask shops, and then everybody, like, this was before you could buy masks anywhere. So nowadays you can buy masks at Walmart, like you can buy them anywhere, but this was seriously like people were looking for masks, and I think it was just right at the beginning. But nowadays I don't know how masks are doing on Etsy. Right after I kind of started my shop, I saw a lot more people ordering masks from China, and they were getting the masks sent to them and just making kind of like reselling shops of masks. So some people were doing that, and I think stores just started getting masks back, in like the cloth ones and stuff. So I don't know about nowadays, but back then is kind of what happened. And I only kept that shop open for 1 week, and I was sewing day and night for those masks, and I just was like, okay, I did my part. COVID season. Oh man. Good. It was just good timing, honestly. Good timing. Market is flooded with masks now. Yeah. So it really was just timing. And I didn't really think, like, I knew they would kind of sell, but then when I saw, as soon as I listed it and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to put the shop on vacation mode because I can't. All right. So planning out inventory. All right, so Christmas shopping begins with decor and gifting, and there's more focus on decor. People are decorating early, so introducing giftable items early, keep on hand through Cyber Week and all of that good stuff. So yeah, so it's just talking about like opportunities as far as trends like decor. I have 1,000 masks from Amazon. I need your business antennas. I know. I think I'm just kind of quick to act. When I think about something, I just do it. I don't even think about it. I'm like, oh, no one has masks? I'm on it. Key themes. All right, so here are some key themes this holiday season: purpose and meaning, practicality, sustainability, DIY, huge one. So if you could do like a DIY candle box, or a DIY, if you make jewelry, can you do like a DIY jewelry thing? Maybe even include a QR code to a unlisted video. That'd be a good idea. So like you could have people kind of, do the experience together. So if you do like maybe a candle box and there are people who just can't be together because of, the pandemic, you can have like a candle lesson, and imagine like you being in New York, someone being in Texas, and you can scan the QR code of this candle box, and now you're at this unlisted private video where you can do this whole candle experience. I think that'd be cool. So you can do that with any type of DIY really, or handmade item. So that is something to think about. So top Christmas performers: wreaths, personalized Christmas stockings, ornaments, engagement rings, Christmas pajamas, all these face masks, emerging key items, craft kits, puzzles, mugs, personalized, anything personalized. If you can do like personalized candles or like wedding personalized type candles, that's a good idea. So these are just kind of like different occasion opportunities: Christmas and Hanukkah, New Year's. That's pretty much what these slides are going over. Care packages, long distance gifting. Ooh, that's a good one. So think about long distance gifting. This is definitely a season where people are going to be, I'm already getting orders on Etsy where people are like, I have noticed it's like one person, the same person, and they place like 3 different orders. One's going here, one's going here. So definitely people are doing long distance ordering. So alrighty, home and living. So okay, like I told you guys, Etsy has had an increase of people coming to the site because not only did the masks kind of have an effect on the people coming to Etsy, but also commercials. So it's kind of the first year, maybe, I think it's the first year where Etsy is doing commercials, because there's still a lot of people who don't know what Etsy is and they've never done commercials before. So now you're starting to see commercials going on and people are starting to know the Etsy name. So we're definitely seeing an increase in people shopping. So home and living trends, there's one that I wanted to, so self-care. So having some type of self-care kit. Maybe you can make a whole kit. Maybe you know how to make soap, and then you can even do melt and pour soap. I personally am scared to make cold process soap, and like working with lye, I feel like I'm too clumsy to work with lye, so I'll do melt and pour soap. I just made some the other day and it's really easy. So you can do like care kits with melt and pour, or candles. Those are great things to have as options too. You've never seen an Etsy commercial? I've seen them on, I think Hulu. I think I've seen them on Hulu. I've definitely seen them. I can't pinpoint where I've seen them, but I think Hulu was one of the places where I've seen an Etsy commercial. All right, so they're talking about clothing now, how we dress. Oops, how we've been dressing. So, an increase, a 400% increase in the word sweatsuit, because we're all at home. So who's really getting dressed up? Balloon sleeve. So if you are someone who specializes in clothing, consider making sweatsuits. Oh, CBS. Nice. I do not have TV, so I don't know what's going on in the actual TV world. I haven't had TV in like 7 years. So this person says, Rita says she's seen, or they've seen commercials on CBS. Cool. So here's more clothing trends: cozy layers, preparing for inclement weather, festive yet relaxed, Christmas pajamas, balloon sleeves. All of that list to me is like, that's the list where you of clothing where you're just lounging at home, which is amazing. So for all of the jewelry people here, we've had a 75% increase in searches on choker necklace. That's trendy. Chunky chains, so consider making some trendy stuff like that. Look at these masks, those are fancy. Got some necklace, these are cute little statement earrings. I don't have TV either, right? There's nothing like a TV, so boring. I find YouTube to be so interesting, like just knowing people or getting to know people through YouTube. And I know it's like YouTube, so it's just a snippet of someone's life, but I find that a lot more interesting than TV. All right, let's see. Ooh, festive masks. So bandanas and scarves, elbow length gloves, belts, pearls, statement pieces for work from home ensembles. I tend to kind of make myself like look presentable even if I'm at home, because I don't know, I feel better when I kind of look put together. So here's something I wanted to highlight for people. Remember along like way a while ago in this whole presentation. I know we've been on for a while, but I was talking about having like multiple streams of income. So there are some people, especially I've analyzed like with jewelry shops, there are some jewelry makers who actually they start a second Etsy shop, and it's jewelry supplies. So the jewelry makers also have like jewelry supply shops, and they're just selling the beads, the strings, the tools, all that stuff you need to make jewelry, and they have a second shop selling that. So selling the tools and craft supplies of your trade can be another Etsy shop. So if you're selling candles and you say, I can put together wicks and fragrances and stuff like that and sell them on Etsy, you can do that too. Have I bought stuff from Etsy for candle supplies? I think so. So that's an option. You can make embeds. So I definitely have bought embeds from people on Etsy. There are some people who just make embeds, and you can make, stars, hearts, whatever, and sell them on Etsy. YouTube is the new TV. I know. All right, so craft supplies and tools, accessories like jewelry making supplies, face mask making. Okay, that's new. Christmas decor kits, all these type of things. You can like make little kits to sell and sell the supplies. You've been watching my candle videos on YouTube since the election. All right, I have it all in my shop. Do you recommend a second shop? Yes, I do. So if you are selling, I don't know, Resin Queen, I think you're selling resin. Do you sell resin or candles? So if you're selling resin and you're selling resin supplies, I would consider opening a second shop, because this also plays into buyer psychology. Say someone is just coming to buy a piece that you made, like a finished piece that you made. I have jewelry and supplies in one shop. Okay, so let's say someone is interested in your jewelry and they come in and they see like resin supplies also. That might be a little bit confusing. So here's where you want to niche down and target the audience. So you can have a second Etsy shop, and it might be more appealing if you had just a jewelry shop and then had just the supply shop. So that just eliminates any confusion with the customers. So set up a second shop rather than selling candle making supplies. Yes, I would definitely. So if you are thinking about going the supply route, set up a second shop, because just imagine a person who has no idea how to make candles or anything about candles. All they know is they like candles, and they come into your shop, they click on your homepage, and not only do they see candles, they see wicks with weird names, they see like CD8, they see 464, and they have no idea what they're looking at. They kind of get a little bit confused, and they might scroll, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna leave. So make it simple for shoppers. Make it as simple as possible. And this even goes with variations. So some people might put one candle up and then have a million variations on. You can customize the fragrance, you can customize the size, you can customize the color, all in one listing. That kind of gets confusing. And when someone has to do too many steps, they might just kind of like not want to do it. So make it really simple for them. So instead of doing so many variations, one variation is cool, but if you're going to make it this whole process, consider just making them into separate listings. Not only is that easier for somebody, but also it helps you more in the SEO, because like I said before, more listings means more chances to get found in search. All right, so we're still, what is this? Paper and party supplies. So this is just more trends with the paper and party journals and planners. That's a good one. That's a good one there. Weddings. So consider, like, if you make candles, you can do customized wedding candles. That's something you can think about. Wedding gifts. Let's see. Wedding trends, wedding gifts. Low-key wedding dresses, scaled back ceremonies, so smaller type of ceremonies. So these are type of trends we're seeing. Virtual celebrations, nice. Statement backdrops with signage, okay. Bridesmaid mask, whoa. That's really interesting how people have kind of adapted to the times. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. I'm glad it is helping you. So vintage, we've seen an increase also in vintage Christmas. Now this is something, remember I told you guys earlier, if you remember. So vintage Christmas was one of those keywords that I stumbled upon when I was doing research that I would have never thought of on my own. So vintage Christmas is kind of a nice keyword too, and people do tend to like to do vintage Christmas themes. So they'll have the 1950s theme, you know, throughout their whole house. And if you have like a candle, you can do a label that looks very vintagey with stripes, and maybe, you know, they had that super specific style of art back then. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but the 1950s kind of art, maybe the Santa Claus looks vintage, and you could do a second like little, you know, candle line specifically for that, or a new candle line for Christmas, and it'd just be like a vintage Christmas. That is one case where I would say, so like if I was stumbling through eRank and I saw vintage Christmas, I'd be like, oh, people are searching for that. Now I'm going to make something that's vintage Christmas. Instead of me coming up with the idea first and then searching, eRank, you know, would give me that idea and say, oh, vintage Christmas, I'm on it. People are looking for that. So that is one keyword that I saw. I don't have anything vintage Christmas. It's not something that I did this year, but it's a word I saw last year. And again, a word I'm seeing this year. So definitely it's something that people look for. Yay, I'm so glad you guys are liking the workshop. Would jewelry fall under a different code? Yes, on the NAICS. Yes, it would. Thank you for valuable information. You guys are welcome. So vintage trends. So retro frames, party dress, vintage brooches. I love vintage stuff. Christmas decor. I would love to have a whole vintage Christmas. I don't like spending that much money. I like to just live through others. So I will go and look at other people who've done vintage Christmas, but I would love that. That would be amazing. So peppermint stripes, vintage Santas. Hello, reading my mind here. Vintage Santas, big bulb lights. Like this is a whole mood, and people would definitely, that's an example of a niche and targeting a specific audience. Even though it's not like a broad niche, you would be able to really target that audience. All right. Do you have any candle Facebook groups you like? I bought candle supplies. I have never joined any candle Facebook groups. I'm not a Facebook person. I don't even have a personal Facebook, so I've never joined any. If you guys in the comments have any Facebook groups, you feel free to put those in the comments if anyone else has suggestions on Facebook groups. I've just never joined any myself. All right, so we are at the end of this whole little thing. So this is pretty much just a recap, optimizing your shop. So some of the stuff you can take and, you know, do it outside of the holidays. So like I said, like this is a holiday thing, but think about the SEO later on. So maybe when Valentine hits, you can kind of come up with this, maybe look back on this and think, okay, what are people searching for Valentine's? What are some trends? What are some things that I can make? And optimizing your shop using photos and video. That's really cool. I need to get on that video thing. I haven't done that to my full potential. So that's pretty much it. Marketing your shop, customer service, and Christmas trends that we went over. So again, I am going to drop this link in the if you came late and you didn't check in, you would need to check in if you want to get these slides sent to your inbox. So Etsy, oops, I keep doing that. Like, how many times am I going to do that, you guys? So Etsy is going to send these to your inbox, and let me exit so I can click the link. All right. So someone said Jeff Stanley has a good Facebook group. I know I've heard him talk about his Facebook group before. So apparently it's very popular. So Jeff Stanley's Facebook group, candle buy/sell. All right, so here is the check-in link. Oh, thank you, Ashley. I am so glad it was helpful. Yay. Okay, you guys, so any more questions before we hop off? And if you just got here, this check-in link, if you click on that, you're going to be going over to this kind of little document thing, or this check-in. So you put your shop name here and your email address. So this is all you and your shop, and then my name, I think it's towards the bottom. So you would put, right here. So you would just put that I'm the instructor for this little lesson. So yay. Thank you guys for joining. Oh, this is 2 hours. Wow, we've been on here for a while. Thank you guys for sticking around for 2 hours. This was fun. So if there's not any more questions, so someone's in the Stanley Handcrafted Facebook group. Okay, cool. So that seems like a good one to join. You're the best. Post more skate videos. Okay, I was thinking, I feel like I don't put enough skate stuff because I don't know if people care. So I'm like, I don't know, should I put that in there? I don't know. Maybe every once in a while I might. I'm not that good at it, but I know how to roll around. I don't see the check-in page. So there were some people who didn't see the check-in page. So I'm not sure if that's something you need to do on the computer, or did anyone have issues with the check-in page? Maybe try it out on the computer and I will, because it seems to work on computers, and someone else had a problem on their phone with the check-in page. No Facebook, glad you have a YouTube. Will you be doing more live streams in the future? Okay, I have started a Twitch channel and I'm gonna let you in on something. So I do like to play video games, but I started getting on Twitch, and there is a category on Twitch where it's called makers, I think makers and crafters. So even if you're not someone who plays video games, you can live stream on Twitch of you making candles, making jewelry, and there's a whole group. Like, I've tuned into some of these live streams and people are just literally just making stuff and talking to the audience. So I made a Twitch channel and I live streamed the other day, and it was I was playing a game, but my computer was lagging, so I just kind of panicked and I got off. So maybe in the future, because I can live stream stuff just like this, but when it comes to games, my computer can't handle it. So maybe I was thinking about, after all of the holidays are over, having a Twitch channel, and on there you can like monetize your live streams. You can become a Twitch partner, and I believe there's like it's just a better platform to kind of live stream. So I can like have a camera set up and live stream packaging orders or live stream making candles. So that's probably something I might do in the future. Will I be doing Candle Academy for the holiday season? So Candle Biz Academy is opening up again on 12/2, and I have links to that in my bio. I think, yeah, there's a sign up link in my bio, and on the 2nd I will open up enrollment again to Candle Biz Academy. And then what game? Okay guys, so I'm a nerd and I was playing do you guys remember Guitar Hero? So I downloaded, it's like Guitar Hero, but it's called Clone Hero, but it's for your computer. And so I bought a very old guitar, and then I plugged it into a dongle into my laptop, but my laptop's so old, it's not a gaming laptop. So when I actually got on Twitch to stream, I had like viewers. I expected nobody to be in there, but I had like a few viewers, so I was panicking because I was messing up the notes. I usually play on expert, and then I just couldn't play it because it was lagging. So that's what I was playing on there. Yeah, Twitch. It's called Twitch. So it's called Twitch TV, and there's a whole section where it's like makers and crafters. There's this one guy I follow, he makes donuts, and he, every night when he makes donuts, he just turns on his Twitch and he makes donuts and he talks to the people about making donuts. Do people have to see you, or can they see you on screen? So, I mean, it's up to you. Usually people have a screen where it's like this, where you can see somebody. But I remember seeing one girl and she had like an animation instead. I don't know how she did it, but it wasn't her. But you could hear her voice and the animation was like moving. I don't know. But you can set it up to where people don't see you. But typically, I mean, if you're doing it just for fun, then who cares? I've seen people do like just their hands. But it's whatever you want to do on there. Okay, got the check-in page to work. Okay, cool. So I will probably do, I filmed the whole Twitch situation, so it might be in the next studio vlog, probably the video after my next video, maybe 2 videos from now. So you'll see my Twitch fail. I had it on Xbox. I was expert, so I'm really good at rhythm games. I could play expert on Guitar Hero, and then back in the day when we used to go to the mall, I would play on Dance Dance Revolution, so that's another rhythm game, and then I would play that. So I'm good at rhythm games, so that's what I like to play. Okay, you guys. Well, I think I'm going to end this live stream. And oh, Twitch is owned by Amazon. Cool. Dang, Jeff Bezos is just, taking everybody's money. But I'm getting really into Twitch. Like, it's really cool. So I will end this live stream, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me, and the replay will be available in your emails. Just click the same link if you want to go back and watch it. Can connect your Amazon Prime to Twitch. I'm gonna have to do the whole Twitch thing. It's like a whole different world than YouTube, so I'm definitely gonna dive in and mess with that just for fun. I don't really care about another platform to like have to, I don't know, I just want to do something for fun. So all right, everybody, I'm going to catch you guys later and hope you guys enjoyed, and bye.